How are you all going? It's Jai, that was the metal guy
I'm
with
ready.
Crannk.com and with that metal station. And today I'm getting to have a chat with Dreamer's Crime. We got Peter, the vocalist, we got Simon, guitarist, and we have Adam, the bassist. Cheers for joining me, guys.
What's up?
How you going?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. How the bloody hell are you going?
Fucking great, mate. Fucking mad single launch on Friday. We're going great guns.
Yeah. Was that this Friday just been?
Yeah.
How did that go? That's what I wanted to ask first. That was the first show back into it after the shit show that was 2020.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, man. That was a shit show, but Friday night was sick, dude. Like, we had mad turnout. Crowd was vibing crazy. They hadn't seen a gig in a long time. You could tell. We went to see a gig a couple of months ago and it was all seated. Not the case this time. I fell off like we'll call it the stage. People caught me. People were touching it. It was all good. It's mad.
And what was it like for you guys, Adam and Simon?
Yeah, the energy was great, back and forth. It was good to have people standing because it's seated. You can't get that same energy back and forth, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was awesome, man, just to be on stage again. It's been over a year for us. Last one was February last year. It was great to be back on stage, man. Awesome.
Same. Just, hearing people in the crowd, cheering us and all that, singing along, it was great. It was incredible. Yeah, so good to have it back.
Yeah, and did they hit up the merch stand? That's what I want to know. Were they all going over there and buying tons of merch as well?
Man, we got close probably to 100 pieces of merch.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah. But we have good threads too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's really good to see people getting out and supporting the scene, getting along to shows like you, like yours as well. Were they singing along to a couple of the new singles there? I know The Dreaming was still relatively new, but did The Silence come out a little bit ago? Did you have the crowd singing along to the new tracks as well?
100%. That's part of our heavy rock metal side of writing. We're quite melodic, quite hooky. Whenever I can get a chance to get the crowd sing, I get them to do it, and that's exactly what they were doing with both of those singles. They were loud, man. They were really loud. It was really good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about I will talk about the latest singles first. I may as well jump into that now. Can I talk about the first one that was released at the start of the year, Silence, man? Can you tell us a little bit about maybe lyrically and musically as well? We can jump between you if you like.
Yeah, we'll go music first.
Yeah,
please.
That up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me? Yeah. Well, that intro riff
came up.
Yeah, something I came up with probably about 2 years ago or something. Then Simon and I started jamming on it, and Simon put his twist on it, put it in a good spot, and now we got that. And it thumps, man. It's a thumping fucking riff. Enjoy playing it a lot.
Put a bit of dynamics in there with the lead and stuff, and the riff and this and that, and then worked with Electric Sun as well, where they helped us produce it a bit more, and fine-tuned it, and that's how the music came around. And
it's got a great sound.
Yeah. We just want it to be a fucking balls to the wall track.
It does have that attitude.
That's good.
Yeah, man. And you mentioned Electric Sun Records. You're working with them. These first two singles are kind of working towards the album you guys are going on at the moment. I don't want you to say anything you can't kind of say about that all, but I'm looking forward to this sound. And what was it like working with the guys over there at Electric Sun Records? Because you got Dave Petrovic, man. He's worked with some fucking killer bands, and I'm not a big hip hop person, but he's worked with some pretty decent hip hop people here in Australia. And he's got Tonight Alive, Hands Like Houses, Thy Art Is Murder. He done an album for them as well. You got North Lane. And then you got Stevie. He's done a lot. Not only musician himself, but his Stand Atlantic, Bare Bones. Geez, they're a rocking band out of Australia as well. Fang's another one. Just some great bands. It must have been cool working with those guys there over at Electric Sun.
they're both absolute geniuses all around in what they do. From knowing how to capture a band sound, from being mediators with bands, just absolute geniuses. They know how to bring out the best in everyone, and they know how to many genres. They're not pigeonholed to rock or metal.
Like just amazing, just what comes out of their heads and their input and stuff. It was great. Yeah, fantastic to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're great.
It's like that in Australia, though. It's like that in Australia as we jump around on the net. Don't mind the net there, but it's like that in Australia. You have these great producers and musicians, and unless you're really in the scene and you're looking for them, it kind of goes over your head a little bit. I found here in Australia, and I find that the masses are more likely to consume stuff from international wise, you know what I mean, and less likely to check out the great bands like Dreamers Crime that we have here in Australia, and producers like Electric Sun and everything. They don't notice it, and the talent we have here is just fucking amazing. Like, I come across you guys and I was blown away. I was like, where the hell have I been? And I know I can't. This is easily about 2 or 3 times a week I come across bands like that, and it just fucking like, where the hell have I been?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. There's a certain term for that, and I can't remember what it is, where people won't listen to you until you have hit a certain status, or they won't look for it. I don't know what that's called, but I find it very
Laziness.
common. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you know, you're right. There's heaps of strong local acts that are just begging for that circulation or that gig, and people will be amazed by what they see and hear. It's just a matter of that wait, I guess.
Yeah, and the rock scene is so good here in Australia. It does my grinds a bit when I see people on the fucking social media complaining about that rock is dead and they're not seeing these bands. It does my fucking head in. It really does, because rock is not dead. Rock is as strong as it's ever been, if not stronger. And the quality of bands that we have that are pushing the bar as well is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, you've just got to, if you want something to happen, you've got to go out and make it happen. Yeah. Like, if you're saying there's no scene, that, you know, this is dead, it's like, well, go out and bring it back to life. Go out and see your bands. Go out, like, take your mates to see a band. Find a band that you like, buy their merch, listen to their music, build it up.
Make it
like, don't just sit there and complain that there's nothing, because if there is nothing, you've got to make something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's hungry. You go.
Yeah, there's like, rock and metal is no longer mainstream. It's not the mainstream MTV. It's not mainstream radio. It's actually gone 360, and now it is not a cult, but it's a following. It's a diehard base where it's like, I guess you can see it in another way of being rebellious, like it used to be, because, you know, rock is like, it's rock now. No one listens to it. You listen to rock, it's like, oh, why don't you listen to this? Why don't you listen to that? This is what's currently popular. I've never heard of the stuff that you listen to. So hopefully that 360 effect is going to come back around again.
Yeah. Yeah, and bands like yourself just constantly working. Dreamers Crime. Can I chat about the latest album? Don't you release the name if the name hasn't been dropped yet, but can you tell me a little bit about the songwriting process, both lyrically and musically, for this album that you're working on?
Simes?
Yeah, I mean, just getting our styles in terms of like our influences with rock and metal, but also trying to make it anthemic, hooky as well, with riffs, not just melodies as well. Just to get people hooked straight away. Yeah, just trying to get that music to work together and just get people headbanging and just get the dynamics together. And then lyrically as well with Pete, just doing his melody, just doing his thing as well on top of all that. Yeah, just it's just getting the vibes together.
Yeah, and it's not just being deliberate in that either. Like we're guys who want to play in stadiums, who want people singing loud and for long periods of time. So when we naturally write, well, we try and write, not naturally, we try and write anthems. And lyrically, I would just go into my chamber internally, dig deep, bring it all out. But I can't help the fact to try and just remind whoever's listening to come back full circle, believe in what you want to believe, but that comes from within first.
Yep.
That's the lyrical theme of what's coming and what has come so far.
Yeah, nice. And so what was recording and production process like over at Electric Sun?
We would produce first.
Yep.
We had heaps of songs. Obviously, the producers would give us their honest feedback, and but again, in that process, they actually bring out the best in us, and being that mediator of like, one of us would be like, I see blue, no, I see red, and then you need that other person who's not attached to the already created stuff, and then we went into recording, and then it was the mixing and mastering.
Yeah, cool.
All done there.
Yeah, you kind of need that, and a good producer will do that, and pull you up and listen to it impartially. I've spoken to some guys that have done a lot of it themselves, and for some of it, they've been overly critical on their work. And as human beings, most of us tend to be overly critical. I've talked to a lot of vocalists that can't stand their own voice, and I'm the same. I can't stand my voice, and you kind of need that impartial person to come in and push you when you need to and pull you up and go, no, that's actually good, dude, leave that, and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you always need an outside perspective on these things, because you can sometimes, when you're attached like emotionally to something, it can cloud your judgment on whether it's whether it's the right thing or not whether it's good, but whether it works with the song. Like, you can have an idea, it's a really good idea by itself, but does it work with what you're trying to do with the song?
Yep.
Like, what's best for the song, and what's gonna capture people's imaginations more? Is it like, having a really good, strong chorus with a strong hook, and then having a riff that doesn't quite fit with it, or did you just write to make put the strengths of the song come like stand out? And I think a good producer does that.
And
they have
right. So one of us might feel really strong about something, but at the end of the day, I don't want like Simon to play something that he really doesn't dig, or Adam, or vice versa. So everything that you have heard is a collective understanding. Everyone wanted that to be heard.
Yeah, all chipping in together, and you can't just have one guy creatively doing the bulk share of the work. It's just not going to fucking work. And the best bands that I've talked to that just bring out the great material, they're all chipping in together, all fucking creatively producing this album to have these ideas coming in.
Yeah.
There we go, as we had a cuppa break in between. So what was it like making this one compared to the first EP you done, or getting first time you hit the studio? What was this time around like? Because I've chatted to some guys and they said the first time was fucking horrible. They hated the studio work the first time. They thought it was shit. And then when they went back in the second time, they were like, wait, we know what's up now. And they've gone in with a purpose. Was that the same when you hit the studio for this one?
Yeah, I guess with, it was just working with different people, I guess. We worked with Bearclaw, and well, even for ourselves as well, I guess we didn't have as much of a purpose for the EP as we did for the album.
Yeah.
And I guess, in terms of the styles as well, kind of, I think we had a bit more direction as ourselves as well. It was great working with Bearclaw too. They had some great ideas, and the pre-production was a bit different as well. We were kind of writing as a jam kind of thing, whereas it was a bit different in Electric Sun, where it was like, we're going to go per instrument and stuff like that. But yeah, it was great. Like, it was a great experience too. And you know, it's always a learning curve when you're going into things as well. You're always learning, and it's always a change. It's great.
Yeah, like Stevie, he actually came to the rehearsal studio and wanted to have a conversation with us about what we wanted from the album, where we were heading, what we sounded like as a group. So there was a lot of investment from the producer into this as well. So we had that relationship straight off the bat. It wasn't just walking in, you know, meeting someone on the day, et cetera, et cetera. We kind of developed, you know, an understanding of what we all kind of wanted from this, and that's why we feel that this is really successful.
Yeah, I'm looking
at a writing and a creative perspective.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this new album for you guys when it drops. The singles that have come off it are just, as you said, catchy, and they just grab you straight away. The first time I put it in, I was like, head was rocking, and I'm like, I'm already singing it like second time run through it. You know what I mean? Because I'm the kind that'll just keep replaying songs the first time I hear them. And you know, sometimes when I hear some music, I put it in the first time, and I'm like, okay, and then you got to go a second listen, and then a third listen, it really hits you. I put you guys in straight away, and I was like, rocking away. And it instantly grabs you, as you said. It has those strong lyrical hooks, but musical hooks as well. Really, really grabs you as well.
Yeah, I heard Adam, like for example, Dreaming, when he hit me up with the riff, I vibed with it straight away, and I'm like, I got a couple of ideas for this, and yeah, like I said, we bounce off each other quite a bit. It's not normally like someone writing, you know, 80% of the song. It's like, hey boys, this is the new song, this is how it goes. You know, the more minds in the creative aspect, it can be trickier, but I think the payoff at the end is huge.
Yeah, and you guys sit so nicely. It's like I'm a mad metalhead, but I love rock, and I love the state of the rock at the moment. It's you just have that sound that can appeal to people that love their rock music, and then mad metalheads like, you know, like myself are just like, this is banging as well. It's just, I'm looking forward to where you guys go, and it must be really cool now things are opening up. Was this album, I do got to ask, was this album made pre everything happening, or is this something that's, yeah, because I've spoken to a few bands and they've made the album kind of, or done the work just before everything hit at 2020 or, you know, late 2019, and then the world went to shit, and they've gone, well, do we release it now? Or do we sit onto it, hold it, release a couple of singles? It's that conundrum at the moment.
Yeah, you basically just set our whole procedure up.
I know, man. It's because you don't want to drop an album. That's the thing. People don't realize, and people were, as you mentioned before, people went to your show and you sold a shit ton of merch. You know what I mean? And where we in Australia, when we play, I know it's the same in a lot of the world. When they go to these shows, some of these people haven't even seen Dreamers Crime. They come along for another band, or they come with a friend, and they come into a show and they're like, fuck yeah. Hit the merch stand, buy some merch, and then they're hitting up their mates as well, going, oi, check this out. Fucking.
Yeah, so, well, there's a girl that came to the gig on Friday, and I had a conversation with her, and she said that she found the gig by going onto Google and writing a Sydney gig on a Friday night, and we were the first one that came up. And her and her partner came all the way from Central Coast, and they watched the show. They became fans. They bought merch. So that was the best news I've heard in a long time. Long time.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of the, you know, the music media outlets out there, the bigger ones anyway, will only cover so many bands, and the big top, whatever the fuck they've got, what's Corey Taylor saying or whatever the hell like that. And they miss bands and what's actually happening in the scene now. So, you know, it's really good to see that we are getting some feedback, and hopefully you guys can get touring around Australia. Things really start getting, because I don't see internationals happening this year, and I've seen some internationals book in, and yeah, maybe, but it's not something you can hope on. So is there, like you were saying before, maybe an Australian tour or a couple down the East Coast at least, or something like that?
Probably when the album drops,
Yep.
we'll probably have more of a tour set up.
Yep.
Single launches, we're going to keep it local, build it up again, you know, see how testing the waters of COVID still, because anything can change, man. Like we said previously somewhere else, like, you know, Blues Fest got cancelled in the week of You know what I mean? So to invest in a whole tour and all that, just kind of want to play it safe a bit more. You know, the album's going to eventually come out, and then, you know, we can also have the tour to follow that up.
Yeah, it's pretty crap that Blues Fest got cancelled. And then what was it? What football game did they have going? It's how many thousand at a footy oval in Sydney that next day? I was like, really? The hypocrisy of this crap is just done my head in. And the way that I know governments worldwide treated the arts during 2020 and, you know, now coming forward 2021, we're trying to recover, it hasn't really given it's about the arts sector. And it's sad because if we didn't have arts and bands like Dreamers Crime and for people to kind of escape to during that time, we would have been lost, man. Would have been a lot worse than anything else.
No, 100%. It's I heard there's a saying, you know, in a crisis, the arts are the things that suffer first.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
And the arts are the first one to be there as well. You look at something happens in Australia. We had that bushfire. Who was the first? But with the big bushfires in Australia, who were the first people that said, "Let's do something"? It was the musicians and the artists in Australia that were like, "Let's do something for the artists."
Yeah. It's but you know what? We're still here, man.
Yeah, that's it. I've got to quickly ask. You went to Asia. I do got to ask, what was that like, man? A couple of years ago, that would have been fucking cool as hell. And I read in one of the interviews someone about rice paddies or some shit like that. And you guys just reading because they're marry you for their rice field or something. I'm like, dude,
it was love.
Told you didn't like rice and it was over.
Yeah, it was like the first offer was there, you know, marriage, and then it was like, oh. Yeah, you know, but I got, you know, what about a rice field? It's like, oh, you know, now we're getting somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, but like, you know, the people there, and Asia is awesome. On a cultural level, we found that the people there were so friendly and hospitable. The people we played to and we toured around with, they love music, man. They love the music that they listen to. You know what I mean? They're there to give 100% in every way possible. Like, you know, big shout out to the country of the Philippines. Like, that place is like a second home to us. They treated us like we were royalty, and we weren't, or we aren't royalty, you know?
Philippines, you know, that's cool. I interviewed a dude out of the Philippines.
Yeah. Oh,
cool
yeah.
People. Yeah, cool people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like they gave us the tiniest taste of Beatlemania there. The tiniest taste. It was nothing like it, but for us, those are memories that we are going to have for life.
Awesome, guys. Hopefully get you back over there once all this is over, man. Thank you very much for the chat.
100%.
Everyone, grab Dreamers Crime's latest single. You've got Dreaming and Silence. Everyone get it. Put it in the stereo. Turn up really loud. The neighbours are going to want to fucking hear it. Last words and shout outs, guys. Well, thank you.
Guys, stream it out on Spotify. Stream it on Apple Music. Use all those new platforms you can, because that's what makes the big difference in the algorithms. Thank you for everyone that's been a part of our journey so far, and all the people that are going to be part of the journey to come. Dreamers Crime cannot wait to connect with you guys again, and for you guys to connect with us. And we hope to hear from you all real soon. Keep a lookout on all our social media pages, because things are coming really quick.
Awesome. You want to chuck something in, bro?
Yeah, just shout out to, you know, all our fans, people that's supporting us. You know, like, it feels every day that the fan base is growing bigger, that more people are listening, more people are shouting out to us and, you know, sharing our music. You know, big shout out to Dean as well, Dean S Agency. He's our boy, taking real good care of us at the moment. Yeah, and just, you know, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks to everyone that you know, gets on and listens to us and buys merch and streams the music. And yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a good time for us right now, man. It's good.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Peter, Adam, and Simon, who's jumped off. Thank you very much, guys. This has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining Crannk and That Metal Station.